Mr. Prime Minister and brother, I want to stand on the protocol that you very well established. I want to thank you for inviting me for this historic occasion, historic for Ethiopia, historic for IGAD region, historic for Africa. Mr. Prime Minister, let me thank you and commend you for the vision, the foresight, the courage, and the patriotism that led to this. There is similarity between Nigeria and Ethiopia, which you will allow me to bring out from the Nigeria point of view, and we can see how it compares with Ethiopia. We have the problem of a civil war. And I can say, you can say, that fighting a civil war is more difficult than fighting a foreign war. A foreign war you fight and destroy. A civil war you fight and build. Because you want to hold together. And that was our experience. Before the war, we made every effort to sustain political. We could not. Then we broke into war. During the war, we maintained what we call no victor, no vanquished. And not only that, we provided special condition, a special way of dealing with our brothers and sisters on the other side. And we have the honor, should I put it that way, of inviting international observers to watch and observe our civil war. We are the first in the world that were fighting a war and invited people to come and watch and observe how we fought the war. It is because of what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to bring our brothers, for whatever reason they were dissatisfied, we wanted to bring them back. After the war, we implemented the policy of no victor, no vanquished. We had what we call 3 R's: reconciliation, reconstruction, and rehabilitation. We continue with the military rule. And at the end of the war, when we ended the war in the field, I brought my colleagues on the other side. Although the war had been technically ended on the 13th of January, 1970, we had to bring the war to political end and formal end. Brought my colleagues to Lagos. And when I presented them to the head of state, I said, here are our brothers who have come back for redeployment. We did not see them as enemy. We saw them as brothers who have come back for redeployment. Of course, some of the senior officers could not be redeployed, but junior officers and other ranks, we were able to bring them and absorb them into the National Army. But even those that were not able to be reabsorbed, they were dismissed during the Civil War. We turned their dismissal to retirement, and they were paid retirement benefits. Then, what do we do with the political? Because the war is a failure of political. Now that the war is over, we have to bring the political back. And like other countries have done, and like we are doing here today, political conference, national dialogue, political dialogue. We call our own Constituent Assembly dialogue. And the preparation, similar to the preparation that the National Dialogue Commission here has embarked upon for the past 4 years. And at this juncture, I will want to commend the National Dialogue Commission for the work and the preparation they have carried out. Earlier on, I visited the National Dialogue Commission, and I was very pleased with the preparation they were making and with the members of the National Dialogue Commission. We had our Constituent Assembly, and we learned from the past, because that Constituent Assembly was the one that established our new constitutional base. Before, we had parliamentary system, and that Constituent Assembly gave us a presidential system. But because of our peculiarity, our presidential system was not just simple majority for the president to be declared the winner. We brought our own speciality into it. He must win certain percentage of votes in 2/3 of the states constituent of Nigeria. The reason being that it is possible, if you base it only on majority, that out of the 36 states that we have, he may win majority in 1/3 of the states, and 2/3 of the states ignored or neglected. That was peculiarity of our own country. We had the Constituent Assembly, we had election after that, and within under 9 years after the end of our civil war, one of the arch leaders on the Biafra side became the Vice President of Nigeria within 9 years of the end of the Civil War. Then we went on. And before long, after that, the military came in. And the military came in, and the military was accused of all sorts of atrocities or misconduct. And when I came back, after I've handed over to civilian, 20 years later I came back, and I had to establish what I call human rights investigation because of a number of accusations and leveled against the military, including myself as a military leader. So we set up what we call human rights investigation commission. And that was to examine what the military had done from the inception up to that date. And it was revealing. It was not meant to pay any damage, but it was meant to investigate and to, where wrong have been done, to explain, and it did just that. One of the members of that commission was the wife of one of the officers that was killed during the first coup. And he asked the man who actually killed the husband, what had my husband done? And he said, yes, your husband was given money by the politicians to build a house. It's true the husband built a house, but the husband did not get money from politicians to build the house. He got loan from bank, and the wife brought the paper of the loan. And the officer came out publicly and apologized. That was what could be called Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Then we had a third one, when people felt that the presidential system is not working correctly. There were omissions and submissions, and that we call political conference. Again, when that was completed, we gave it to the National Assembly. National Assembly is still on it till today. What do I see about what Ethiopia is doing today? I see strength and opportunities, as the Prime Minister said. History is part of your strength. Diversity is part of your strength. Experiences of the past is part of your strength. Regional power is part of your strength. Capital of Africa is part of your strength. Population is part of your strength. The diaspora is part of your strength. And the people of Ethiopia, industrious and hard-working people of Ethiopia, is part of your strength. Yes. And what are the opportunities? Again, historical. It gives you opportunity. Population gives you opportunity. And the most graphic opportunity I see is economic. Mr. Prime Minister, 3 years ago or thereabout, you decided that this country will be self-sufficient in wheat. Because we all in Africa did not know how much we were dependent on wheat from Ukraine and Russia until the war in Ukraine started. My dear brother, you achieved it. Today, Ethiopia is self-sufficient in wheat production. Not only are you self-sufficient, you have become a net exporter to your neighbor. Yes, great opportunity. Opportunity to be the food basket of Africa. Great opportunity. Opportunity to join hands with other countries to uplift Africa and make Africa the continent of this century. Opportunity. But these opportunities will not be achieved unless you have the national dialogue to achieve the purpose for which it's meant to achieve. The purpose of Ethiopia being a community. The purpose of communality of Ethiopia. The purpose of making Ethiopia great. And making Ethiopia one of the leading countries in Africa, and indeed one of the leading countries in the world. These are opportunities which this national dialogue will make possible. Thank you.
እጅግ በጣም እናመሰግናለን።